Good afternoon and welcome to our advisory number 6. Today we're going to work on our action plan. So, goals for today are to look at your success criteria. How have you been doing on those? Remember, they need to be smart. They need to be something that is easily checked yes or no for the most part, and they have data behind them. And then today we're going to start on an action plan that is directly related to those success criteria. So, when are we going to finish those success criteria based on that plan? So, ATL skills, self management, organizational skills, managing tasks and time effectively. So, if you did miss anything, all of our previous lessons are always on your Canvas page. And we did work on creating meaningful success criteria for your product goal. So, again, the 3 strands for MYP Objective A planning is right here. Notice that after today, the action plan, we will have hit all the bullet points for all the things that you will need for your rough draft. And remember, your rough draft is on there. It is due October 29th with a few days in between that we could maybe get you to the 31st, but the goal is that it's in by the 29th so that we have a week to give you some feedback. So think of events in your life that might actually require a plan. For example, a birthday party, a tailgate, sporting event, the halftime routine just at one of our home football games. We have band, we have cheer, we have dance, we have other things that are going on that need to be planned out. Going on vacation, how you get home, how you get good grades, and finally just finishing the personal project. All of these things take plans. So let's focus on a birthday party. Okay? So think with the end in mind. Where do I want this party to end up with? So when and where will the birthday party be held? Think about who the party's for. Because at the end of the day, if it's for me, it might look different than if it's for my 6-year-old daughter. It might look different if it's for your sweet 16. So all of those things need to go into account. What day of the week will the party happen? What time? Obviously we need to think of people's schedules. And then again, depending on who the party's for, food and drink, decorations, so on and so forth. And then how many people are going to be there plays a role because you have to budget this. Right? So then, how big is the party going to be? If it's not surprise, probably want to talk to that person whose party it is, create that guest list, so on and so forth. But all of these things take time. And if I know that my party is in November, I've got a little bit of time to plan. Hey, what's going to happen the first couple of weeks of October? What's going to happen in November? When am I sending out the guest list? When do I have to reserve the venue? Things like that. But all of that takes time. That's an action plan that can go towards your success criteria. Okay? So at the end of the day, the final thing that we get to is party time. What does the day of the party look like? How early do you need to arrive at the venue if it's somewhere else, or even if it's at home? Where are the guests going to park, especially if it's at your house? Okay? How are you going to keep the food hot if you have food? All of these things are super important that if I don't think about prior to, I'm not going to have a clear action plan. And that is why we need to have a clear action plan for our personal project. So when we're taking a look at this action plan, how will you provide examples or evidence of your plan as you progress with your project? The approaches to learning skills that you're using while working on your project, which is going to be part B of our report. And then the IB learner profile, 10 traits that we've been talking about throughout the school year. So your process might include practicing or outlining, or maybe you have to buy ingredients, tools, all of these things. Whatever you have to do for your project will go into your action plan. Now, when you develop this action plan for your product, it must include how these success criteria should be met. Now, you might have more things in that action plan, and that's okay. That's actually really good. But at the bare minimum, I need to be able to have dates for when my success criteria are going to be met. Okay, so however you want to create that plan is up to you. These are all different ideas. Okay, to-do list, calendar task, logical plan, flow chart. There's so many different things that you could use. It's really what personally works for you when you're trying to create a plan. Some things to remember. Okay, you've probably used action plans in design and PE and health because I know that those classes use plans. Okay, consider your approaches to learning skills. For example, if you struggle with time management, you may want to make an action plan that focuses on, I'm going to do everything early on because I have flexibility. Or maybe you're a winter athlete. Maybe you're in drama. Maybe there are things that come up in the winter that I need to front load and get more things done early. Maybe holiday break, I'm staying home and I can get a lot done then. Look at your calendar from now through February and what's the best time for you to get a lot of these things done. Okay. Here are just 3 different examples of different sort of action plans. So I've got a date, a task to do, relevant success criteria on this one, progress notes. Here's progress and people that I have to meet with. Here's date, task that I complete on time. All different versions. On Canvas, there is an exemplar action plan that has different versions. You'll notice that the first example doesn't have any time. It's just a paragraph, and it talks about what's going to happen. That's allowable. It's a lot harder to score. It's a lot harder to be clear that you've hit your success criteria and your action plan, but that is allowable. So at the end, you have a report that you need to write. And this report for planning looks like this: state a learning goal for the project and explain how a personal interest led to that goal. Those are the 2 things that need to be met. We've discussed those. That's what we did the first 4 or 5 weeks. State an intended product and develop appropriate success criteria for the product. Again, talked about that a while ago, worked on success criteria. Now we are at the final part. It says present a clear, detailed plan for achieving the product and its associated success criteria. That's what I talked about today. We need to create a plan. So it says I provided a clear and detailed plan for achieving the product. That's one strand. The next one says I included the success criteria in my plan. So you might have the best plan in the world. I'm going to do this, and then this, and then this, and this, and then you finish everything and you have a great, great product. But if you don't connect any of those success criteria, you can't get any credit for that part of the plan where it says I included the success criteria, and that is part of the rubric. So it's very important that you connect success criteria as well. Again, thank you. If you have any questions, please contact me. You can use the You Can Book Me. There's a lot of different things going on now. Now, the next 2 weeks after this, there won't be any videos. There's just going to be some check-ins. Take a look on Canvas for example reports, for exemplars. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know, and have a wonderful day.